Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and here's my view today. Looking out over the airport. There it is. Across the valley here, the Okanagan Lake, way down over that direction. That's city of Kelowna, and these are the kind of views that I get every day. Pretty nice area to be in. Today I've got a very easy job. I just cleaned the couch right here, and I just vacuumed 2 bedrooms upstairs, master bedroom and a second bedroom, and I've got this basement area to do. You can move this mat out of the way. Oop. And carpet's in really good shape. There's no visible. Oh, there's a sprout there I'll have to pick up. There's no visible soiling. I have only seen a couple of small spots so far, and there's a little bit of carpet lifting a little bit here. Just noticed that. Okay, no big deal. This is a good carpet. It's a nylon. I have the same carpet in my mudroom. It's not a great wearing carpet, but it's a good carpet. So 300. No, I got more than 300 square feet. What have I got here? Probably about 500 or 600 square feet here in the basement. 600, I think. And probably gonna vacuum it all. And this will just be a vacuuming video for those who like to watch that. I'll do all the edges, of course, after with my Shark rocket, which works really well and is very fast. Very nice little unit. I've only had, I don't think I've even had it a year yet, actually. But I really like that little machine for edges and things like that. Try to get in behind the doors. I'll use the rocket in there, of course, get the dust out of there. Although I don't see any dust. This carpet actually doesn't look like it needs to be vacuumed. I see a couple of bits of stuff here and there, but overall it looks like it's in really good shape. But the carpet is 5 years old. And the lady I'm cleaning for, she is just moving in here. So it'll be interesting to see how much junk and dust and skin that I pick up. I don't think the basement area was used very much. This vacuum does actually vacuum very well on the edges. It's got such a lot of airflow, and there's a little notch um, on the side here at the front, so it kind of sucks a lot of dust in when you run it along the edge. So it's pretty good at that, actually. Although I still will do the edges with the shark. The lady customer asked me when I got here, she said she hadn't had a chance to vacuum ahead of time, and she asked me, do you vacuum? And of course I do. So most carpet cleaners don't do that. They're going to wait, they're going to rely just on their squirt and suck of their truck mount or whatever. And that's not appropriate. It's not the proper way to carpet clean, and they'll know that, but they operate under a different business model than we do, which my goal is to a few years ago, actually, a competitor a franchise moved into town, American-based franchise, and they advertised a low-ball price and coupons and all that sort of stuff. And I was a bit concerned about them, partly because their name rhymed with their name was almost the same as our name. We're Oxy-Dry, and they were Oxy something else, if you get my drift. And anyway, so I wondered to myself, well, how will I address this company that is going to possibly end up getting work that people would be confusing them with us, and thinking they're calling Oxy-Dry when they see their coupon come in the mail and not be paying attention, because that's what happens, and not realizing they're not actually calling us. How do I address this? And my answer was, I did three things actually. One, I increased my price a little bit. Two, I slowed down and I concentrated on becoming even better at what I do. And three, at the time I actually hired a helper, partly so that I could move slower myself, and I concentrated on just increasing the quality and the value of what we were doing, and it certainly paid off. And at the time, which was about 3 years ago, I predicted this company would last for about 3 years, and that they would have to give up, because I know what it takes to operate, and as far as pricing and marketing and their whole approach, which is not really as carpet cleaners, but rather they're in the business of selling franchises. I knew that their cleaning system was very inferior to ours, and was causing all kinds of problems on carpets, because it does cause significant tip looming, and I've seen it many times, and I've put a couple of videos up where I've talked about that. And anyway, about just over a year ago or so, all of a sudden they went on the market. They were trying to sell, and I pondered on that one. I said to myself, I don't think they're going to sell. I think they're going to have to just give up and walk away from the business, because anybody that would look at that business model after they've operated it for 3 years, would realize there's no money being made here. And when the person who bought it bought the franchise, they would have fallen for the hype of the sales people of that franchise, convincing them that if they bought the franchise and they followed their business model, they would dominate and they'd have multiple trucks on the road and in no time and make lots of money and everybody be happy and it'd be a wonderful life. But that didn't work, and I know it wouldn't work because I know what works and what doesn't, and people, in my opinion, are actually looking for quality and do realize that the price of that they're advertising is not it's just not possible to give a quality job, and they don't, and they have to upsell. And if they don't get multiple vehicles on the road, then the person who owns the business, he can't make a decent living being the owner and the operator. There's just not enough markup. You can't be that lowball coupon guy and count on getting your upsells, because they have to upsell. Advertising $89 for a living room, dining room, hall, you cannot make a living at that, so they have to upsell. And the overhead of operating the business is just too much. So they tried to sell for over a year. Then they dropped the price. What were they trying to sell for? I think 89 or 79 or 89. I can't remember now. And then they dropped it down to 69 and no buyer. Because anybody that, unless you don't have any business experience, particularly carpet cleaning business, most people who would have any experience running a carpet cleaning business would never take a look at a franchise, because they would know. I mean, we know, us guys that are out there doing this as independents, we know that there's not enough pieces of the pie to be giving money to a franchise who actually do nothing for you, because they don't. You know, their business model was that the phone is answered in Denver, of all places, and of course, every phone call going through that office means that the franchise is actually in control of your business, because they know exactly what's going on, and they can calculate how many jobs you are doing or should be doing, and then they control what the advertising says. They control where you're allowed to advertise and how. You actually end up working for them, and every month or whatever, you're having to fork out money for what? There's no advantage to it at all. But anyway, so they pulled it off the market a month or so ago, I guess, and at least I'm assuming they didn't sell. I don't think they did, because actually I've had customers call me, or people tell us when they phoned that they phoned them and the message was they're no longer in business. So that indicates to me that they closed down, they closed shop. So there's lots of guys that are interested in getting into operating a business such as this and wonder if they should, spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 or even more for a franchise. And well, that's one way to do it, but you're going to be spending money that you certainly do not need to spend. and you can learn a great deal about how to carpet cleaning. Well, there's lots of stuff on YouTube, and I think I've got over 140 videos now, and others do as well. And then there's the carpet cleaning, the VLM Carpet Cleaners Forum on Facebook, where we get together and talk about all these different things and get questions answered and share our experiences and suggestions and advice and everything. So things are a lot better than they were years ago, where we didn't have that access to that information and help, encouragement, and guidance of guys that have been at it for decades, such as me and others. So you don't have to spend all kinds of money, is what I'm saying, to go and buy a franchise and to get into this business. Anyway, I'm almost done. 17 minutes for the basement area. Not bad. Oh, did I do in there? I did. Yeah, I am done. What do you know? Okay. Let's So that's not a great amount, but I didn't expect a great amount because I don't think this basement carpet was used very much, really. The main wear and tear was happening upstairs in the main floor, which is actually all hardwood, and obviously the people that lived here spent most of their time up there. So, but for 5 years, yeah, nice to see that coming out. So anyway, I'm going to finish with this video, and then my plan is to record myself cleaning this. So catch you with the next video.